Multiparadigm Data Science with the Wolfram language. Section 1, the project workflow. We are now ready to work on the last stage of our multiparadigm project workflow. We have gone through the first 4 stages, setting up questions, wrangling data, exploring and analyzing it, and now we would like to communicate the results of our analysis. The data that we've been working with are the tweets made by Wolfram Research. We've extracted some useful insights from this data, and it seems like the results would be of interest to the social media team. Before we present our findings, it might be useful to keep 2 points in mind. 1, what are the needs of the intended audience? In this case, the social media team. What are they interested in? What will they find useful? This will be key in communicating the results effectively. The word clouds we created during exploration and analysis stages nicely capture the focus of the tweets and seems like a useful result to share with our audience. On the other hand, the feature space plot of the words from the tweets laid out in the feature space of word vectors, it was an interesting picture, but not particularly informative in the context of a monthly Twitter report. So we might not want to include that in the story that we want to tell this time. Secondly, as we put together the presentation, we'd like to set up the code so that the end data product of the project, whether it's an app, a microsite, a report, or just a piece of visualization, we would like an automated or at least semi-automated setup to recreate it again and again, whether for reproducibility or for comparative analysis. Let's put this together. It's a little bit like looking at what you have in your fridge or pantry and putting it all together with a recipe for a delicious meal. What do we have so far? To talk about the numbers, we have a few different comparison charts showing the number of tweets by year, by month, by day of week, and hour of day. We also have the total number of tweets, average number of tweets per day, all useful pieces of information. To talk about the content of the tweets, we have the word clouds, linking the content to numbers. We have rankings of the hashtags by the number of times they were used, or in case of a specific hashtag, which might have been the focus of a Twitter campaign, the number of times different variants of the hashtag were used. While the clustering of the tweets did not reveal any interesting insights we had hoped for, we were able to use the features of the tweets to train a classifier that could label a tweet as a candidate for a specific hashtag or not. As for the people referred to in the tweets, we were able to create a network of Twitter handles mentioning each other. That could help highlight the influencers in the network. We were also able to see the geographical distribution of these users around the world. So these are all the ingredients we have, and it's up to us to whip up an interesting recipe to put them together for our audience. And also, once our preparation is ready, we have the choice to serve it up in a few different ways. Basically, use any of the different tools of communication we have to convey the results. Starting out with simple visualizations. Since a picture is worth 1,000 words, an audience are often found to favor pictures over the written text in presentations. We could combine our pictures together into an infographic, the layout and annotations customized according to the needs of the audience. Instead of flat images, we could make it interactive so someone can click through for a dynamic comparison. A good amount of information can be offered in a visually concise presentation by trying out different layouts and choosing from a large variety of visualization functions. Now, if we want to include more descriptive details about each piece of visualization with text explanations and also perhaps the code so that the reader is able to run it on their own, then we could simply write a report in a notebook, making it into a computational essay with both code and text organized structurally into sections to walk our users step by step through the analysis. A high degree of customizability in terms of style and structure makes the Wolfram Notebook the perfect tool to create such a report. We could directly publish it to the cloud, either making it publicly viewable or restricting the permissions, allowing only specific people to access it. The cloud published report allows us the option to update it as needed without having to email multiple copies, avoiding a lot of confusion regarding the correct or the latest version of the document. Once we have the notebook-based workflow in place, we can of course use it over and over again. For example, we can set up a report template like this one and use it to generate a report on the Wolfram Research account or the Wolfram Alpha Twitter account. It's just another Twitter account handled by the same social media team. We can also automate the process of generating the report by deploying a report generator to the cloud. This code will generate a report on the previous week's Twitter activity every Monday at 9 a.m. and email a link to the report to the designated receivers. We can manually trigger the report generation and see what it looks like actually. Here is the email with the link to the report, and it allows me to view it in the browser. We can also create a simple microsite. This code creates a form that accepts the Twitter account handle that your audience might be interested in and provides the analysis for the tweets from that account. This makes for a simplest of data products resulting from our project workflow. Now, any one of these different ways would help us communicate the results of our analysis, bringing us to the end of our project workflow. This notebook encapsulates all the various stages of our project workflow. Of course, being a notebook-based workflow incorporating the multiparadigm approach, we can constantly tweak and improve the workflow to incorporate new data or try different algorithms or visualization techniques to create new data products, all from within the notebook. Notes and descriptions trace the different stages of the workflow in the notebook and can easily be shared across teams for feedback. Section 1 of Multiparadigm Data Science with the Wolfram language provided an overview of building a project workflow. In the next few videos, we will delve into more details at each stage of the workflow and take a closer look at the algorithms, techniques, and computational tools available for practicing multiparadigm data science.